Hello and welcome back. This is Eddie Tia presenting for Quasi Games. Um, I'm the CTO here, and I'm the lead of technology development. And today we're going to be uh, overviewing our design architecture. And before I go into that, I would just like to say what's been going on so far. I've been carried away by well, I've been interested in the current situation with AI and whatnot. So I've been learning math, calculus, and stuff like that. Just watching the videos and yeah, stuff like that. And also, I noticed that OpenAI pretty much is still figuring these out, and they've actually started using something that I've already implemented in my that we have implemented in our backend, which is alignment system. Um, Obviously, the technology pace is quite different, and the hype uh, is quite like the comparison is quite different. It's a larger company versus a smaller company. So if we were to discover something, it won't be broadly new unless it was a larger company that can actually hit the media really hard. Anyways, so stuff like server meshing and all of those, we've already implemented that, created that with from scratch pretty much, and just to put that out there. Um, all right, so with that said, I've been setting these up for various classes. This year is going to be the feet. If you look on your left hand side here, or maybe on your right, because the video might play out in the opposite way. Where is the content? All right, we have ocean. All right, so here we have products. All right, this is where we're at. All right, so I've been planning things out. These are just overviews of what I've been planning out. But basically, your feats um, are gonna be basic tasks that you accomplish, and you get reward. And it specializes. It explains your class type pretty much. So in this case, a barbarian with a shield has 80% block once you complete your task, in comparison to a paladin, which is like 100% or something like that. I don't want to just say something like that. I want to show you guys actually. Da, da, da. Alright, so I have to do this for the various classes. We have future challenge ability, Paragon planning. Alright, let's just go and try to find Private Crusader, position effectiveness. Alright, I have it somewhere here. I don't want to show you guys too much. 100%. Alright. So, anyways, the way the game is designed is that we will use these to give specific details. All right, here we go, right here. So it's an equipment mastery system, and for this one, the barbarian have 80% in comparison to a fighter, which is a trade type that has 100% mastery potential with a shield. And then you have paladin who can also heal themselves, so they have like 70% and stuff like that for balance. All right, and every class will have access to things like lab still depending on the trade itself. A class and trade are the same thing. All right, we're just using trade to differentiate our design structure from the classic D&D. All right, so I'm gonna close this up, and we are gonna go all the way back to blockchain. All right, this is a presentation here. Um, anyways, so we like to uh, again, this is an open development. We are very open with everything we do, so you're gonna get a direct insight on everything that we do. All right, so here it is. Um, we have to introduce what is blockchain to just clarify that we do understand the current technology, and from that we can actually explain why our modern solution is uh, is advanced pretty much. Alright, so um, alright, so that's that. I don't know if I should read this. I shouldn't read it out anyways. So we'll be uh, introducing Web3 and our platform as a service. All right, and there are a lot of typos in here, but it's a discussion. This here is a lecture. All right, so let's just go over it together. We'll be introducing blockchain and crypto individually, and we'll be taking our own expert take on it. And we'll be introducing the problem and security challenges as we are scaling, and how our design approach has solved all of those problems. And so we're gonna start here. All right, what is Web3 about? So Web3 is about creativity, data tracking, uh, targeted ads, and stuff like that. Ownership, participation, rewards, and stuff like censorship, resistance. And we're gonna just put a period. We believe censorship is the best option, self censorship. What this is basically, if you don't want to see something, you can just block that content, and that's that. And if you don't want to see, I already explained it here again. Alright, so all of this depends on decentralization. Our software design so our software is designed to make that to meet that standard. It will also believe in a creator economy, which is kind of like a gig type economy where you can plug in to our matrix, and uh, you immediately become your own boss and whatnot, and your own agent, and using stuff like AI and whatnot, you will be able to pretty much run your own services and just be self sufficient in a sense. And we want to design a way where there's a financial incentive for individuals who are interested in owning product and whatnot, using blockchain system. All right, can do that, and it can be passive or active and stuff like that. So what is a blockchain? All right, a blockchain is the overall technology. All right. So a blockchain in the classic term is uh, the connection between blocks, and blocks are data. All right, in a ledger. All right. Now we're gonna look at this from a banking or an accounting perspective. So each block can be considered as a dollar or whatever that is stored in a bank. All right, and the bank itself is a ledger, it's the container, and in that bank, like, all the money count is the ledger. All right, it tracks everything in there. All right, so blockchain is like how these dollars connect with each other. All right, so that if you remove $1, how does it reflect on the overall ledger system? All right, and the reason why blockchain, why Bitcoin was created, was pretty much that to create a ledger that everyone has access to. All right, it wasn't to create a peer-to-peer network, but it was to create a ledger that everyone has access to, and that way when a change occurs, all right, everybody have access to uh, that update to the ledger, all right, and that way there can be no flaw in the system, and people can just remove or print out more resources and buy more Bitcoin with those fake currencies, all right, which is something that people are doing right now, and they're pretty much inflicting Bitcoin, which is why we don't, I personally don't as well trust the success of Bitcoin, all right, and so there are some financial experts, all right, there's not financial advice, but there are some financial experts on YouTube and other stuff like that. Believe it or not, there are smart people on YouTube, and these people do know that Bitcoin is going to zero, and we've observed and done a little bit of testing ourselves by buying Bitcoin and then selling it back, and then looking at the situation to see the net gain, net loss, and things like that to make this conclusion. All right, so what is a blockchain? Uh, already explained those, the connection, all right. And the main goal was a data tracing strategy. And there are these things called nodes, all right. These are the individual user, all right. This is the typical avatar or the player within the system, or the clients or individual citizens or whatever. These here, right? If you so basically, all right, we're gonna go and find a reason why each person will want to own their own node. All right. So these are the servers, and we are assuming that these are the supposed to be the individual clients identity, because the servers may copy information from the ledger, all right, so that everybody is on track, typically everybody, all right. But right now, the way the overall system is designed with Bitcoin is that copying is, it takes so long, and also it's limiting technology wise, with like how much space you have to allocate and all of that stuff, and also how long you have to wait, because it is a peer-to-peer system, and you are not copying efficiently, you're not copying the data efficiently, which is much faster, all right, which is something that we consider when we're designing our technology. You're not doing that, so the modern a lot of people do not own their own nodes, and honestly, in order for Bitcoin to actually be something or be a successful movement, everybody have to have their own node, and every node has to have the current record, all right. So there are blocks of data in a blockchain, and there's a ledger. Blockchain as a technology is what we're defining right now. And there's a ledger with a key value pair, a map for each block, alright, within the ledger itself. And these are called records or whatever. Alright, so there are records in a ledger table. Alright, so blocks of data are produced by performing tasks, all right, in a typical Bitcoin blockchain system, and this process is called mining process, all right, and it is called, I mean, it was used in court, all right, to protect Bitcoin as a decentralized entity or whatever, by stating that it was a proof of work system. All right, we have concept of commodity and stuff like that. So yeah, so there's anyways, uh, the servers have to compete, all right, in this proof of work, all right. A challenge is given out to all the servers, all the nodes, all right, and they have to compete on a computational task, all right. And once they are done, a reward is given out. Now, a lot of people think there's only like one uh, uh, block, whatever, created or something like that. I personally do not think so. I think there are like two blocks based on the hash mapping system. If there's a hash for the first and then the next, or the uh, the sender and then the receiver, all right, that's two data right there, which is enough to make a key. All right, you have to make that same data for the winning node, the winning server as well. There has to be a sender that provides the reward for the person who was successful. All right, and there has to be a from and a to. All right, so the from could be the ledger itself, and then the to can be the winner. All right, so there's a mining type one, which produces the Genesis block. Now this really isn't a mining; it's just a creation. All right, and the creator of the overall ledger introduced this first hash map or whatever data that can be used to create the next one, and then everything else can be like just used to you. I mean, to produce one after another in a system like that. All right. So the second type here is just the money itself for transaction. All right, and so the rest, apart from the Genesis node, I will assume that it's safe to assume that the rest of the blocks are produced by the process of activating or transaction event. All right. Now, other people, the owner could go and just add more blocks in there, but we're just gonna safely assume that that's how it is. All right. So each node will be given a copy of a static available challenge. All right. So that's one source of truth. All right. Or centralized servers, which is the actual Bitcoin main server, is gonna produce a challenge within that ledger, and at the end the winner will be given a new block as a reward, and then the sender receiver, I mean the receiver will get a new block as well with the data and stuff like that. uh, so ideally this is how it's supposed to be done. All right, so there's one block and then there's a second block. All right, now we are now going to look at the peer-to-peer networking system. All right, Bitcoin itself is it's a ledger, uh, transaction ledger system. All right, it is not a peer-to-peer networking system. All right, and a lot of people misunderstand. They do not really understand what Bitcoin is. All right, Bitcoin is the ledger itself. All right, it is not a specific currency. It is not a specific system and stuff like that. But a lot of people, well, the way it is actually designed right now is kind of like using a hammer to solve all the problems. All right, so peer-to-peer networking here is one of the nails that the hammer has actually seen, right? It created its own nail, and one of the nail here is peer-to-peer networking. And now everybody thinks this here is the best way to do things, all right? And you guys already know that there is a problem with this because it is not safe environmentally, and yeah, and there are also issues with like how slow everything is as well, and so on, and also unsafe. All right. So peer-to-peer networking is what the engineers for Bitcoin decided to go with, and this was not was a great way to produce a concept, but when it comes to industry standards and based on my expertise, all right, this here is a very flawed way to implement the system. All right, so syncing data, all right, with peer-to-peer networking as a framework. All right, that's the part where they got it wrong. All right, it is not supposed to be a framework. All right, so peer-to-peer networking is just a networking. It's not supposed to be a framework, and that's where everything goes wrong. All right, so while game technologies deviates from this because most modern technologies implement peer-to-peer because they think it is a framework, but it is actually not supposed to be done that way. And by that, they actually have a design flaw. Alright, so quasi game technologies are designed using standard developed by a technical expert, that's me. Alright, based on the current state of Bitcoin or existing ledger are decentralized, but they are also reliant. Alright, they are also reliant on the blockchain's original ledger and its original centralized server. All right, it is a centralized server. All right, and it has to be this way for security reason. All right, so Bitcoin is not really decentralized. All right, this means until all the Bitcoins are mined, all the oldest decentralized ledger and all the other decentralized ledger are synced. All right, all new nodes should be expected to copy data from the central server itself. All right, that's the Bitcoin main server. That's where all these nodes are supposed to copy their data from until Bitcoin actually completes the collection process. All right, so this is why and the reason for that is that based on many decades of engineering, all right, and it's not my idea. It is actually people who knew how to do these things way before me, all right, and their claim actually is actually acceptable by me as a logical claim. And what they said was that you cannot trust the client. All right, you don't have to be a genius to actually know that you cannot trust a client when you are designing your technology. All right, we see this a lot in the game design industry. All right, where New World, for example, create a client-side technology, hoping that the client will be trusted and it will be truthful with it. They will be nice with it, but not everybody is nice. Not everybody have good intentions or alignment, and so it just went to a flop. All right. So number one thing here is to not trust the client, no matter what. All right. And this is why all nodes, all right, they have to copy from a centralized server. All right. Otherwise, the peer-to-peer networks that they are copying from can actually extort data and actually all right, so we are assuming that they are copying from the base server, otherwise it will introduce security vulnerabilities. All right, this is the part I was explaining, and as a result you've actually seen people save their Bitcoin in a safe place, for example in their wallets, all right, which is the ultimate safe place according to the design, but then all of their Bitcoin actually vanishes without a trace. All right, it's from being with a peer-to-peer system where you actually think that you can trust the client. All right, and that actually doesn't work out because people can actually edit the ledger, which might be decentralized, but it's not secure by design. All right, and yeah, and that makes every modern system that actually copy the peer-to-peer networking system or implementing it, that actually creates a conundrum or something that you have to think about pretty much. All right. So Quasi Games technology is being designed to skip past the peer-to-peer inefficiency. All right, instead of you guys, the citizens, all right, you guys are expected, right, to have accurate data. All right, so Bitcoin basically is a ledger, as I keep saying. All right, it's a ledger system, and the ledger is supposed to be shared with every single person, not just a particular node or particular server. All right, it has to be shared with everybody. That way everybody have the exact data, and everybody has a chance, all right, to raise up concern with correct evidence. All right, and as long as we have people still mining data and people not being able to download and install all the ledger's data because they have technical limitations, stuff like that. Bitcoin is really not realized yet. The overall concept, right? It's not realized yet. Alright, so we've decided to just skip that part where you have to download stuff and you have to wait for the peer-to-peer to run a course, check every other node every single time you want to download one piece of data. Right, instead of us doing that, we just skip everything and just go to the most efficient part, which is having a centralized server, which is something that can be trusted, and your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrency will not just vanish, without a reason, because we will have everything on an HTTPS security. Will have stuff like checking in code. All right, we'll have code reliability. All right, this is why we are taking our own time to design these stuff, because we don't want any error. All right, and things like that. All right, so this inefficiency also affect the environment. All right, leading to pollution because people are mining out of their mines. All right, and they are leaving environmental footprint, and they are entering people's ecosystem and just giving them false hope and actually destroy their environment, uh, and stuff like that. All right, so we designed an alternative way to do mining, and it's actually a fun way, and it's actually a convenient way. All right, we don't make you guys do any of those stuff, buying rigs and things like that. You gotta have fun and stuff like that. All right, so the first way, which is the fun way, is it's an experiment, our experimentation, and it's part of our overall matrix system with the AIs and stuff like that. And the convenient way is that you'll be able to just go to the website, go to the auction house and stuff. All right, and just be able to just get your currency. All right, and that currency will still be a decentralized currency because you can actually just plug in, download the data directly and really fast. All right, at any time you want, you can do that really fast, and all of the currency will be mined immediately. All right, so that immediately when the application is made, all right, it will be pre-mined. All right, and you can update the owner of that pre-mined block or data, right, by interacting with the matrix that we have. All right, so by pre-mining everything immediately, the overall system is absolutely decentralized. All right, so that when you actually download that data, that overall ledger, the ledger is the static amount of data. All right, and it's already saved for your system, and you can update it, or you can choose not to, and then do it at a later date or stuff like that. All right, but there will always be a single source of truth, a secure source of truth, and your connection to that source will also be secured. All right, that was the most important thing that we had to consider when designing our system like this. All right, and we have all the time in the world because we don't have investors or whatever, people telling us to hurry and do things like that. All right, we don't want to rush anything, and we have all the time in the world. All right, that's one thing that comes with our having your hands in, in other stuff like that. All right. So with secure networking solution, we identify our concept from an introduction of the. I mean, all right, we gamify our system. All right, to create an introduction to the metaverse. All right, or the economy system. All right, for I just say for introduction to the metaverse and a gig human player owned economy. All right, so you guys want to have a player owned economy? Yeah, you really won't have to worry about this only be in game. Like if you can actually make this a reality, all right, by following us, supporting us, being a part of our journey, and jumping into the system that we are making and inviting other people over. All right, we can actually make a player run economy if you guys truly believe, or if you guys truly trust us and support us throughout this journey. All right, so I was going to explain how this copy system work, but I'm sure you guys already know how it is. So basically, other nodes copy data from the winner is decided by the ledger server. All right, so at that point, the data itself is already available. All right, and then other nodes copy from there and stuff like that. So this here is just a random node, and we have videos here and things like that. I'm not gonna play these, but you guys can go on to uh, you guys can go on to our website, which is etwave.online, and you guys can read a lot of stuff like the rest of these. All right, so pretty much I just copied and I just pasted the rest of this part inside of the website itself. All right, and the website is supposed to be simple because the technology we are building is something that haven't been done before. All right, so we have to go at it from a different angle from what you will do if you were designing your typical Web2 application. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you're following us on LinkedIn, you are doing a good job. If you are sharing our content, inviting other people who are gamer or creators and stuff like that, potential entrepreneurs and things like that to actually be ready to jump on board. If you are inviting those type of people, that's pretty nice. We thank you and stuff like that. Um, yeah, the game demo is on Steam, and I've been working on particle effects and whatnot. So we can add those and make the comeback come to life. Once we do that, we add the ledger system and link all of that with like API requests and stuff. We'll get everything out. Uh, until then, maybe I can show you. I don't know if I should open Unity. And that's gonna be another video. All right, thanks for watching and goodbye.